this session will be basically on community-based disaster risk reduction. So all of you, can share your experiences, and we'll develop ideas on how we can do community-based disaster risk reduction, and how you might have experienced it either in your workplace or as part of your research or something like that, and how we can formulate it when coming to the whole Indian scenario. Okay, so that would be. You can start off. Who would like to speak first?
It is a right session for community radio station. So, हम डिस्कशन कर रहे थे कम्युनिटी रेडियो का इम्पोर्टेंस जो है, मतलब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट is understanding our role and responsibility. The pathetic of the situation is that the concerned state government are not bothering. Neither they are giving us support, nor they are actually what I can say. So, because most of our friends are here, they are belongs to different, community radio station. So, state government का cooperation इतना नहीं है, एवं डिजास्टर के टाइम पे भी वो हम लोगों को बुलाते नहीं हैं. Neither they are involving, nor inviting, nor giving any content to play and award the community, because disaster is coming or there is a possibility, you have to award the people, you have to inform the people. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. जो भी फंड आता है स्टेट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी को सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से काफ़ी फंड जाता है, और मेरा जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, हम भी विलेज लेवल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान भी अभी उड़ीसा में हम लोग कर रहे हैं. मतलब गांव में हम ग्रुप करते हैं, उनके लिए भी फंड आता है, लेकिन नॉट ए सिंगल पाई हैज बीन बजटेड फॉर कम्युनिटी रेडियो प्रोग्राम्स. जैसे कि आप देखिए, ये साल भर में भी हम कई मुद्दे पर प्रोग्राम बनाते हैं, ब्रॉडकास्ट करते हैं. डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के ऊपर काफ़ी मुद्दे हैं जो उसके ऊपर प्रोग्राम बन सकता है, लोगों को हम आवार कर सकते हैं, चाहे वो लैंडस्लाइड हो या साइक्लोन हो या ड्रॉट हो या फ्लड हो. काफ़ी मुद्दे हैं. इवन ये काफ़ी मुद्दे हैं जिसके ऊपर गांव वालों को, जो अनपढ़ है, जिन लोगों के लिए हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, उनके लिए काम करते हैं, उनको जगाना जरूरी होता है. लेकिन हम लोग ऐसा प्रोग्राम नहीं कर पाते ड्यू टू स्कार्सिटी ऑफ फंड. कोई फंड का सपोर्ट नहीं है. मेरे ख्याल से मेरा जो निवेदन है, कम से कम एक नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा है, आप लोग रिप्रेजेंटिंग टू फ्रॉम डिफरेंट गवर्नमेंट एज वेल एज डिफरेंट अदर इम्पोर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर, इस मुद्दे पर भी चर्चा होना चाहिए और रिकमेंडेशन भी होना चाहिए. कम से कम जैसे ही आप बजट एलोकेशन होता है, इतना फंड हम स्टेट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी को दे रहे हैं, उसमें एक सेपरेट बजट भी कम्युनिटी रेडियो के लिए होना चाहिए. और कम्युनिटी रेडियो साल भर में क्या क्या करेगा उसको भी आप प्रपोजल में रखना चाहिए.
प्रोग्राम हम तो भी कर सकेंगे ना.
तो ये सपोर्ट बिल्कुल जरूरी है, नहीं तो कोई मतलब हमारा यूटिलिटी का कोई मतलब, हमारा जो लक्ष्य है वो लक्ष्य का कोई मूल्य नहीं रहेगा.
Okay, we take it upon and we'll raise it further in the next plenary session. So anyone else?
See, plan, progress and review. These three things should be taken care by all the stakeholders. Plan, as he said, we should.
Just a minute. Kindly, anyone before speaking, kindly introduce yourself and then.
My name is Pritam Naik. I am from SOA University, Bhubaneswar. So we have a community radio called SOA Radio. It's a university. It's a deemed to be university. So during my point is here that as I said, plan, progress and review. These three things are to be taken care of by the stakeholders. Because one community radio has I'm playing a very vital role during the disaster times. If you talk about the connectivity wise, see, we have also TV channel, we have also news channel 24/7, we have also a print media, and we have also community radio. So during the disaster, TV maybe नहीं चल सकता due to the electric any kind of supports. Same thing paper also, but radio can be reached at any point. Reach out level is very high. So during the disaster time, and not only disaster time, even before disaster also. So we should make a calendar make a plan how we will encourage and how we will start a program, I mean, with the joint venture with the community radio stations. So throughout the year, they will definitely, time to time, because they cover things, the time to time they will educate people and they will try to reach our objectives at every doors. Thank you.
So,
Program
point
to be
on
talked about by the NIDM.
कम्युनिटी रेडियो का पॉइंट हम नोट कर चुके हैं और पहले भी ये पॉइंट आया था. इसके अलावा कम्युनिटी बेस्ड डिजास्टर रिस्क मैनेजमेंट में हमें और क्या चाहिए? व्हाट आर द अदर एसेंशियल्स? देखिए, हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों का इस्तेमाल करना पड़ेगा. What are the other essentials for CBDRM that will help us to strengthen coastal disaster risk resilience will be also very critical. So if you can shed light on what do you think are the other important points besides community radio?
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, प्लीज.
yes, please.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है मैम. नहीं, चलो इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं, मैं ऐसे ही बोल दूंगा. कम्युनिटी रेडियो से है. मैं हिमाचल प्रदेश से हूँ और रूरल एरिया है हमारा, स्नो बाउंड एरिया है. लगभग 6 महीने तक तो बर्फ वहाँ पड़ी रहती है. जब बर्फ पड़ती है तब भी जो है वो बहुत नुकसान हो जाता है, और बारिश आए तब भी लैंडस्लाइड से हो जाता है. इरोजन तो ऐसे भी जो होता रहता है, पेड़ों का बड़ा भारी नुकसान होता है, जिसके लिए लोगों को जो है जागरूक करना बड़ा ज़रूरी है. मेरा एक भाई साहब के साथ जो है वो पूरी तरह से हम सहमत होते हुए, इनकी आवाज़ में आवाज़ मिलाते हुए, क्योंकि हमारे कलेक्टिव वॉइस है ये, मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि हम जो है कम्युनिटी रेडियो जो है बड़े जब लाइसेंस मिलता है तो डिफरेंट मिनिस्ट्री के द्वारा जो है वो इंक्वायर किया जाता है, विशेष करके मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स के द्वारा. तो क्या जो है यहाँ से डिपार्टमेंट जो है मंत्रालय सीधे हमारे को मदद नहीं कर सकते हैं? क्योंकि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट जो है हेल्प नहीं करती है, हिमाचल में तो कतई नहीं करती है. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है, हाँ उसके लिए जो है टीम गठित की जाए और उसका जो है बाकायदा फॉलोअप है और बाकायदा उसकी इंस्ट्रक्शन है, वो जो है वो की जाए. तो मेरा ये निवेदन है कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जो है कम्युनिटी रेडियोज़ को, NGOs को जो है जो इस तरफ काम कर रही है, उनको जो है गुंडोज के आधार पर जो है अवश्य में मदद की जाए, डायरेक्ट की जाए.
थैंक यू सो मच. आपका पॉइंट नोट किया. और आपको एक बात कहना चाहती हूँ कि उत्तराखंड में भी कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशन हैं और मेरे ख्याल से उनका नाम मन करके है, जो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. सारा उत्तराखंड फ्लड्स के बाद उन्होंने काफ़ी काम किया जागरूकता को लेकर, और उन्होंने बहुत सारे नेशनल अवार्ड्स भी जीते हैं अपने काम के कारण. तो एक गवर्नमेंट ने रूट बनाया है जो SDMA के थ्रू जो आता है और उससे इंगेजमेंट होती है, पर आप दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट्स के साथ भी काम कर सकते हैं.
हेमवानी जो है, आप शायद उसकी बात कर रहे हैं. मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ, हिमाचल प्रदेश में हम जो है पिछले 5-6 वर्षों से जो है रेडियो चला रहे हैं, तो हमें तक अभी तक एक पैसा भी जो नहीं मिला है. हमने गवर्नमेंट से कर्जा लेकर के ये रेडियो चलाया है. डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर जो है हिमाचल का, उसमें 8वां एक विभाग है, उसकी रिकमेंडेशन होती है. पहले तो हमें उन्होंने बता दिया कि हम आपको रिकमेंड करेंगे, रिकमेंड भी किया, और मंत्रालय यहाँ से जो देने के लिए बिल्कुल तैयार बैठा. हम जब यहाँ मंत्रालय में आए कि हम तैयार बैठे हुए देने के लिए, पर उन्होंने आधा अधूरा रिकमेंड किया. वो जब हमने उनको ये बोला कि भैया आपने आधा अधूरा रिकमेंड किया, हमारा 2 साल खराब हो गया, वो एडमेंट हो गया. और आज सुन लीजिए मैम, एक मिनट में खत्म कर देता हूँ, मैं नाजायज आपका टाइम नहीं वेस्ट करूंगा. आज 6 वर्ष हो गए, 6 वर्ष बाद जो है वो ये बोलते हैं कि ये तो रेडियो स्टेशन ही जो काबिल नहीं है, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट जो है वो लाइसेंस दे रही है, और वो वही बातें जो उनको पता नहीं है, वही बातें जो कह रहे हैं. मंत्री जो एग्रीकल्चर के वो उद्घाटन करते हैं, डायरेक्टर वहाँ जाते हैं, सब कुछ ठीक है, परंतु उनकी नजरों में क्यों गलत है? क्योंकि हमने उनकी बात नहीं मानी. अब आप खुद समझ गए होंगे.
जी, मैं
तो
समझ
ये
गई
बात
हूँ,
है,
और
ये
मैं
प्लीज
आपको
इसमें डाल दीजिए.
हाँ बिल्कुल, आपका पॉइंट हमने नोट कर लिया है, और फंडिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज के बारे में लिखा है. ठीक है,
होनी
ओके.
चाहिए, सेंटर से डायरेक्ट होनी चाहिए. ये जो है क्योंकि रजिस्ट्रेशन है बाकायदा, लाइसेंसेस है बाकायदा. हाँ, उसकी जो है इंस्पेक्शन टीम करें. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के पास ऑफिसर्स हैं, स्टेट के ऊपर ही डिपेंड इसलिए ना हो क्योंकि स्टेटें जो है मदद नहीं कर रही है और
सर
नहीं
आपका
कर
पॉइंट नोट कर लिया हमने
मैं कर
एंड वी वुड लाइक टू हैव अदर पीपल टू टॉक
Please.
अबाउट इट यस सर प्लीज एंड आफ्टर दैट कैन वी हैव
So, ma'am, I'm Krishan Jindal from Dan Foundation. It is an NGO. So, I just wanted to share, we are using self-help groups and farmer producer organization for risk reduction and resilience. And their role has been quite effective. So, my suggestion is that their use we should increase, because we have a huge network of self-help groups and farmer producer organization across the country. So in what way we can involve more and more them in creating awareness, in imparting training, etc.
Good afternoon to the chair and all the participants. I am Kuldeep from NDRF. My point is very simple. As you all know, community is always the first responder. So we need to strengthen the community in terms of capacity building program. So that is very, very important. And by taking non-structural mitigation measures like awareness, dissemination of information, training to the community, we can reduce the disaster to a large extent.
बिल्कुल
Training is very, very important. We have seen as NDRF responders, we have seen during response action, because primarily our job is to respond. A part of that response, we are going to the community for imparting training and all. And we have seen that community is not aware. They don't know how to use the locally available floating items which are available, how to make use of that items and they can save their lives and all. They are not aware what to do, what not to do during various types of disasters. Number of NGOs, community-based organizations, they are working on paper. Maybe they are giving training here and there, but there is not a single platform where all these stakeholders can come, discuss, deliberate, and coordinate their response action, their training programs, and all these things. District administration is list bothered. Mandal administration is list bothered. Nobody is taking interest. Disaster management is not a priority for them.
also they have no specialist for
After this 2005 Disaster Management Act, where role of each and every department, every stakeholder is very clear, but nobody is taking interest. So that is very, very important, and training only can save loss of life. They can give them confidence so that we can take mitigation measures, save life, and we can do our job properly. This is my point of view, especially in terms of training. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kuldeep. Both Mr. Kuldeep and Mr. Jindal has raised very important points related to, one is that communities' capacities need to be built with respect to disaster preparedness and response. And also Mr. Jindal brought in 2 points that we need to look at how vulnerable communities or communities which are usually not engaged in disaster preparedness can be brought in for strengthening local disaster resilience. So would you like to talk about this more? Because these are very 2 important points. Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Shem from Emmanuel Hospital Association. Supporting to the Kuldeep's point, we have been doing the DRR program we're focusing on the schools children, because I think this is one of the assets that the children can learn about disaster risk reduction, disaster management from childhood. So we have been giving awareness and sensitizing about disaster management, and also training on how to respond during disaster, like medical first aid, fire safety, search and rescue. So this is one, and the other one we are targeting is when we do a DRR program, it's not only about one community, but we look at, let's say if our area is 10 kilometer radius, we look at what are the facilities or the community in that area. It could be local community, educational institutions, school, colleges, or hospitals, or integrated with the faith-based organization. I think in India, everybody is like into some religion, so faith-based organization, it can play a very important role in the disaster management. So we go and meet the priests and the Maulvis and the pastors, and we talk to them about disaster, and then they can share about disaster management in their wherever they gather in the religious festivals or in the celebrations. So that was one module. And also the other one I like to point out is livelihood has to be addressed, because when it comes to about survival, life and death, the community, they forget about other risks because they have to focus on their livelihood survival. So I think alternative livelihood or sustainable, that will make our program sustainable, and then they can really reduce the risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Shin. You raised a very important point, that is how we have to involve even school children in this program, because they are the basic one who will be, giving information even to their parents who might not be involved in any of this. So I would like to know from others who are over here, like which community or which part of population do you think that is being actually left out? Who needs to be equipped for more of disaster mitigation and disaster risk measures?
Actually, for that I would like to add that I had worked in District Disaster Management Authority and also in State Disaster Management Authority. In District Disaster Management Authority, I had been in various programs, in orientation programs. But what I thought there is that we should have some programs for the women who are at home, because they are always left out and they don't know anything. They don't know the kitchen fire. If I take the fire example of the fire, kitchen fire is very much happening in the areas of we can say Jammu and Kashmir and other areas. In Delhi also. In Delhi, I think in daily basis, one major call is there of fire. So the women who are at home, they don't know how to utilize the resources which are available with them, how to turn off, or they just do what they do, they just become hopeless in case of any disaster or in case of event. So we should have orientation program for them also, because we should involve them in this disaster risk reduction policy so that they can become active contributors to this policy also. This is my comment.
Anyone else who would like to talk about which are the communities that are being left out for coastal disaster risk resilience? Okay, I have another question for you, for the group then. How do you think we can institutionalize community-based disaster risk management? What are the mechanisms that are available that we can link it with the government planning process so the funds are easily available at the grassroots level? Yes, please.
So Ravi Jha, मैं आइडियो सिंक मीडिया कंबाइन में काम कर रही हूँ. मुझे पहले कुछ ऐड करना है, मैं थोड़ा बीच में मैं सेशन में आऊँगी. बेसिकली अभी हम रिसेंटली कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशंस के साथ ही हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन काम कर रही है, और अभी हम KSDMA के साथ इन पार्टनरशिप विद them हमने ट्रेनिंग वर्कशॉप्स ऑर्गेनाइज किया था. जैसे कुलदीप सर ने बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट आउट किया कि ट्रेनिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है, और जब हम ट्रेनिंग की बात करते हैं तो हमें बहुत लिस्ट आउट करना पड़ेगा कि किस एक्सपर्ट से हम लिंकेजेस कर सकते हैं. जस्ट लाइक अगर हम बात करें कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशंस की, वी ऑल नो कि लास्ट माइल कनेक्टर के तौर पे कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशंस जाने जाते हैं. जब ड्यूरिंग द डिजास्टर, इवन पोस्ट द डिजास्टर, जब कोई भी नेटवर्क काम नहीं कर रहा होता, कोस्टल रीजन की बात करें कुछ भी, तो हमारे कम्युनिटी रेडियो रिपोर्टर्स ही वहाँ से हमें बता सकते हैं एग्जैक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन. अब इन्फॉर्मेशन की बात करें तो उनको ऑब्वियसली यहाँ बहुत सारे CR स्टेशंस मौजूद हैं जो बहुत ब्रिलियंट काम कर रहे हैं अपनी अपनी जगह पे, बट उनको मे बी अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम पता हो कि कैसे बनाना है. उनको ये पता होगा कि कैसे हम अगर पोस्ट द डिजास्टर पे हमें कोई प्रोग्राम बनाना है तो क्या क्या चीज़ें आपके साइट्स पे अवेलेबल हैं. बट क्या कोर कंपोनेंट जाना चाहिए ड्यूरिंग द डिजास्टर, वो सेंस जो है वो लिस्ट ऑफ एक्सपर्ट से आएगा। उसके लिए हमें शायद गवर्नमेंट के साथ पार्टनरशिप पे जरूर सोचना चाहिए। जो भी ब्रिलियंट माइंड्स बैठे हैं, पॉलिसी मेकर्स बैठे हैं, उनको बहुत जरूरी है सोचना कि किसी भी पॉलिसी में अगर हम पॉलिसी बना ले बट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में अगर हम इंटीग्रेशन भूल जाएं सीआर स्टेशन की, उनके रोल की, तो आई थिंक वो फिर ग्राउंड लेवल पे वो धाराशाही है वो पॉलिसी। तो मेरा एक छोटा सा सजेशन होगा, नॉट जस्ट कि मैं एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को यहाँ रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हूँ, पर्सनली भी 2 साल से मुझे काम करते हुए ये अंदाजा लगा है कि अगर हम कुछ एक्सपर्ट्स, लिस्ट ऑफ एक्सपर्ट्स इजीली अवेलेबल साइट्स पे हो, जैसे हम वेबिनार होस्ट करते हैं, हमारा एक मंच प्लेटफॉर्म है, वेबिनार हो या फिर रेगुलर डिस्कशंस हो, तो क्या होगा कि वो रिपोर्टर्स लिंक कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हम वहां तक नहीं पहुंच सकते जहां हमारे रिपोर्टर्स पहुंच रहे हैं। कम्युनिटी रेडियो रिपोर्टर्स की बात करें मैं, वो वहां उन फील्ड्स में जाए और वहां कम्युनिटी को वो ट्रेन कर सके। अभी हमने जब वहां पे KSDMA के साथ 5 डे का वर्कशॉप किया तो हमने ये देखा फर्स्ट एड जैसा बेसिक कंपोनेंट थी, उनमें से किसी को पता नहीं था। और जब हमने एक फर्स्ट एड पे सेशन रखा तो ये पता चला हमारे रेडियो रिपोर्टर्स को नहीं पता है, तो वो तो बेसिक आइडिया सिर्फ लेंगे वहां से, ऑनलाइन चीजों से उठाएंगे, उसको 4 लाइनों में लिख देंगे क्योंकि लिखने में एक्सपर्टीज आ चुका है, और वो अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम चला देंगे। बट उनको और अच्छी जानकारी मिल सके उसके लिए हमें आप लोगों तक रीच आउट करना होगा। तो एज अ CSO पर्सन मैं ये कह सकती हूँ कि हम ब्रिज हो सकते हैं, बट आप लोगों को भी आई थिंक व्हाइल मेकिंग द पॉलिसी यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड कि हाँ ये सारी चीजें भी उसमें आए। सो दैट्स माय सजेशन।
So Survi, the nutshell what you're saying is that there should be a list of experts available at the state level and national level.
Correct.
Which can be accessed by all radio stations in the country, including community radio
One more thing,
stations.
recently when we were organizing this workshop over there, we got to know कि even district magistrates को पता नहीं है कि कौन-कौन से community radio stations हमारे यहाँ licensed हैं. So that is also comes under the responsibility of WPC wing, maybe. So एक लिस्ट जारी हो कि लास्ट मिनट पे अगर कोई डिजास्टर आता है तो हमें भैया पता हमारे न्यूज़पेपर वाले रिपोर्टर भी नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे, तो किनको हम उनको साझा कर सके। ये चीज हमारे एक तो कम्युनिटी वॉलंटियर हैं, वो CSOs के भी होंगे रिलीफ एंड रिहेबिलिटेशन में। एट द सेम टाइम व्हाट दे कैन डू कि लिस्ट ऑफ कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशंस का एक उनके पास लिस्ट हो और फिर वो उनको कोऑर्डिनेट कर सके।
Point taken.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you. So I'm going back to the question I raised. Please, we have been discussing about CR stations. If you have a suggestion.
I have a suggestion. Different suggestion actually. 99 सुपर साइक्लोन के बाद उड़ीसा में हमने शुरू किए थे CBDP प्रोग्राम, कम्युनिटी बेस्ड डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान, जो हर गांव में होता है। उसके बाद अभी हाल ही में चल रहा है, वो भी आपकी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के सपोर्ट में, वो विलेज लेवल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट कमेटी वी आर फॉर्मिंग। लेकिन एक जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस है, मैं गांव से, आई नो, आई ऑलरेडी रियलाइज द डिवास्टेटिंग इफेक्ट ऑफ सुपर साइक्लोन। तो ये तो कमेटी हो जाता है, बहुत ही सुंदर से कमेटी प्लानिंग वगैरह सब गांव में बन जाता है। उसके बाद उन कमेटी को कोई नहीं पूछता है, उनके पास कोई नहीं जाता है। और खास करके जो मॉक ड्रिल होना चाहिए इस कमेटी को लेके, चाहे आप स्कूल का प्रोग्राम देख लीजिए, एर्थक्वेक के लिए स्कूल में भी मॉक ड्रिल आजकल नहीं हो रहा है। ये कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं कि प्लानिंग हम कर दिए, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन हो गया और सबमिट कर दिए, फंड यूटिलाइजेशन हो गया। उसमें सबसे बड़ा गैप जो है, हम कम्युनिटी को इन्वॉल्वमेंट हम कर नहीं पाए आज तक। और जब डिजास्टर आता है ना, मुझे पता है 99 में 5-7 दिन तक हम गांव से बाहर निकल नहीं पाए। और जितना मैनेजमेंट हुआ है ना, हमारा चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफिस काम नहीं कर रहा था, डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन फेल था, कोई कम्युनिकेशन नहीं था। सिर्फ गांव के लोगों ने अपने आप बीच में, मतलब दे हेल्प ईच अदर। एंड वो जो 7 दिन का टाइम था, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं था, इवन आपका हॉस्पिटल में भी कोई ऑपरेशन नहीं हो रहा था, इमरजेंसी कोई प्रिपरेशन नहीं था। ये सब चीज मैंने रियलाइज किया। तो कम्युनिटी एम्पावरमेंट इज वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट। What Madam said, it is right, but we have to look into this matter, how we will engage the community. That is most important.
Okay, thank you. I would like to add to what we are doing from Tamil Nadu. Actually, what we are doing is we are developing a group of first responders who are actually from the village communities, identifying them, which includes that first responders include not just the community people, but the nurses who are available to the nearest point, doctors who are available to the nearest point, or from the animal husbandry department who will be available from the nearest point, block development officer who will be available from the nearest point, village officer who will be available at the nearest point, and even snake catchers, tree cutting equipments, everything. So what we're basically doing is we are listing down based on each village, where village people themselves will come together and sit and discuss like from where we can source in case of any disaster that is happening. And we are listing it out for each villages and doing it. So that's what everybody has been coming and telling like you have to do it from the basic point where it might occur. Not sitting at a district level, but you have to move to the village level and sit and plan over there. So in that, mostly what is being left out is some points that we have raised, ham radio and other civil service organizations who are over there. So beyond this, if any of you have experience of how you have faced it, if any of you have gone through it, we would like to hear from you.
As the respected officer says, community awareness and training is must.
Just if I can compliment her, one is that there is a list of resources that is being chopped out now, is what I'm understanding. But the point, sir, may I know your name, please? Mr. Mahapatra raised is that communities are brought in for planning, but they are not continuously engaged. So we also understand in India, the last level of planning is Gram Panchayat Development Plan. So maybe village is not the right level of planning. We need to look at a panchayat level, or we need to look at how do we connect village disaster management plan with the Gram Panchayat Development Plan, so communities are engaged much more or maybe over the year. So that's a point which I want to bring it, because in the earlier discussion we have talked about Gram Panchayat Development Plan, and now we are talking about Village Development Plan, and there is no continuous engagement of the communities. So if you have additional more points on how communities can be engaged other than capacity building, awareness generation, but in a planning process, so they are more empowered to see what is happening in their village, like what they have planned, is it being implemented, more monitoring, more strengthening, coming from community side, that would be great.
I'm Ashish, I'm in Navy. First of all, I would like to bring what Anu was saying in the morning. Our focus should be on inclusive I would rather say community inclusion in the DRR rather than the other way around. What we are talking about till now is what we have to do. Only Shreya has brought it out certain points which are very, very valid, how it is to be done. We should focus on how it is to be done. My 2 bits on that is, first of all, what we are ignoring as of now, as I feel, is the use of traditional knowledge in that. If you go to anything, let's say a great place, I'm in Navy, so I have been associated with a lot of infrastructure projects which are coastal basically. There's a lot of traditional knowledge which is available all around. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, there people are making bunds which are there. I was surprised to see the bunds which are probably older than British time, which are still being refurbished and being used, whether for the water supply and the same thing is being used for the extra water flow when there is a tsunami or storm surge or anything is there. So what need to be tapped is the traditional knowledge, and hence coming to what you are raised in the morning. You raised a point about the one-to-one dialogue between the community and this. It's not that. In sitting over here in a 5-star hotel in an AC room, nothing can happen. It has to be 1:1 dialogue, something what Shreya is wonderfully doing. Coming to that, next step would be, again, I am not an agriculturalist, but I can give you one example from the coastal towns. Mangroves, which are often forgotten about that. Sundarban, fantastic work has been done by certain organizations, I am aware of that. How many of us do we know? We keep talking about 10% of the cyclones will come over here, so soil erosion. Everybody is talking about the coastal erosion 50% of public will be in 100 kilometer of the range. These are all facts, raw facts. How we can improve upon that? There's only one way we can improve it. For example, mangrove, which is being used by the marginal fisher folks or the coastal community. Now I'm talking only about the coastal community, but it is spread all across. If we take out, let's say you go to Gujarat, so on agricultural region, there's always cactuses planted outside the thing, which is used as a fodder for the certain animals also, and it gives you protection against the desert erosion coming inside your livable area. Same thing is being done by your mangroves. So hence, what is to be done in this particular and how it is to be done is, first is involve the community into 1:1 dialogue. It is not that it should be there or there. No, it has to be involvement. Exact the point what you were talking about, the dialogue which is there. And the same mangrove, when it is cut, it is used, only the dried mangroves are used for the firewood and other work. And unfortunately what's happening in the name of development, you just take it out whole thing, and after that, I'm telling you from the experience. I was a member of one of the EACs of MOEF, so that's why I can tell you. Whole mangroves are being cut across the coast. And nobody knows that there's a certain way the current science and technology people know better than me. Currents are in one particular direction. So on one side it will be a question of beach, another side the beach will be taken off. I'm very sure you guys will be much aware of this particular point. So your mangroves and there may be other dual knowledge, other traditional knowledge which will be available. I just taken two examples. Same thing, next could be certain crops which will be resistant to this particular kind of thing, the climate resistance crops, what we are talking about. Probably think about that. We can get into touch with the ICARI or USA. There are so many people who are working on that. It's just a question of synergy between different departments. And last not the least, I would like to highlight a point which Shreya has already said. It should be the dual use of the technology and resources which are already available. What you were talking about, something you are doing in Tamil Nadu, that's a fantastic thing. So you got a, let's say, JCB available, which is given to the panchayat, and it is being used for making some bunds or uses over there, and the same thing is available. He's not going to requisition it from the DM when it comes from, the things are on your hand. You are not going to do that. It has to be done immediately and then and there. Somebody should be there to operate it. In case if it breaks down, somebody is to be there available to repair it and fetch diesel for it. There's so many other things. Hence, capacity building, yes, we talk about it, but it is to be proactive and how to do it. It is not that we will do it sitting over here. Negative, sir. It can't be negative. It can't be done here. And opening the one-to-one dialogue, not from one side. It's all the dialogues are one side. This is my personal feeling. We are just saying that it should be done. How? Unless you involve the grassroots people, it cannot happen. So next time anything like this seminar or anything else is happening, I would like somebody from those guys sitting over there, some Gram Panchayat chap sitting out there, some marginal fisherman sitting out there saying, अच्छा मैंने ये किया, ये मुझे बताया कि वो चांद में इतना वो काला चांद होता है तो इतना मैं फिशिंग नहीं जाएगा. Like all of us are aware कि at certain time we don't eat fish. Why? They don't go out. Why? It's restaurant recuperation and mending their nets and so many other things. So the traditional knowledge need to be used and dual use. Thank you.
Just one example, I want to thank you so much for bringing that point up. In Andhra Pradesh, all the multi-purpose cyclone shelters right now are being managed by self-help groups. What they are doing is that obviously once there is a cyclone, then they are used as a shelter. But when there is not a cyclone, then they are used for income generation activities, for conducting capacity building activities. Then they are also looking at health camps, they are looking at educational interventions. So engagement with communities will give us the much needed risk resilience, and this is also happening in Odisha very well. So the reason why today Odisha is a good example after Foni, because they have managed to demonstrate that their community engagement and the work they have done with community with regard to empowerment has worked very well.
So we'll just sum up whatever was discussed over here and end the session. We initially started with community radio stations, which is working. We discussed that budgeting is needed. Either direct budgeting should come from the central government, or state government should impart their budgeting provisions for the community radio. And from Dan Foundations, there was representation saying that farmer producer organizations and self-help groups and other vulnerable sections of the society also should be included in this community-based disaster risk management programs. And then we came up to a point where NDRF spoke about how non-structural mitigation measures are required. That is training, which is very essential as a part of it, and how even locally available materials and how local resources should be made use of at the earliest time instead of waiting for the resources to come at that point. And how we can, all the stakeholders should come together and sit and discuss about the naturally available and locally available resources over there to come up in the case of any resource measures. And later Shen spoke about school children, how are they an integral part of this disaster risk management program, and also how we should target education institutions, hospitals, and even faith-based organizations into such disaster risk programs, and how we should have a sustainable livelihood measures that should be taken up after this as a holistic method for disaster risk. Then we also spoke about how women at home also should be included as a part of it, and Surabhi spoke about how experts list should be put out and which should be available at the state level as well as at the national level. And also how it should become a part of policy making also. And then we spoke about community volunteers and mock drills. And to conclude, we also spoke about how traditional knowledge should be available, and even traditionally available materials, how including the agricultural techniques should be made use of to reduce the risk of disasters in any area. Thank you. That concludes the session. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.